Nobody knew where she came from. The girl sat alone in the corner of the transport ship, silent, watching. The other recruits whispered about the scars on her arms, but they did not know the truth. She was from a death world, and death worlds do not raise soldiers. They raise survivors. Her name was Maya. She was human. She was from Earth. The other recruits kept their distance. They had heard stories about humans, stories about creatures that survived impossible odds, stories about beings that refused to die even when death was certain. Maya did not speak to anyone. She just stared out the window at the stars. Her eyes were cold. Her face showed no emotion. But inside her mind, memories played like a movie. Memories of her home planet. Memories of fighting just to live another day. The transport ship finally arrived at the Galactic Military Training Station. It was massive, bigger than anything Maya had ever seen. The doors opened with a loud hiss. One by one the recruits walked out. There were aliens of every shape and size. Tall ones, short ones, ones with 4 arms, ones with scales, ones with fur. And then there was Maya, the only human, the only death worlder. She stepped onto the metal floor. Her boots made a heavy sound. Every head turned to look at her. Some recruits took a step back. Others whispered to their friends. One large alien with blue skin and sharp teeth laughed. He pointed at Maya and said to his group, "Humans are weak. They will not last a week here." His friends laughed with him. Maya heard every word. She did not react. She just kept walking. Her face stayed calm, but her fists clenched tight. The hallway led to a massive training hall. Hundreds of recruits gathered there. At the front stood Commander Rix. He was tall, very tall. His skin was covered in dark green scales. His eyes were yellow like a snake. He wore a black uniform with medals covering his chest. His voice was deep and loud. He spoke, and everyone went silent. "Welcome to the Galactic Military. Only the strong survive here. The weak get sent home, or worse." He paused and looked directly at Maya. "Some of you come from soft planets, safe planets. You will not make it." His smile was cruel. Will Maya survive her first day? What happens when she meets someone who needs her protection? After the speech, all recruits were sent to their barracks. Maya found her assigned bed. It was in the corner. Perfect. She liked corners. You could see everything from a corner. Nobody could sneak up behind you. She put her small bag on the bed and sat down. Other recruits filled the room. They talked and laughed. They introduced themselves to each other. Nobody approached Maya. She did not mind. She preferred silence. Then a small figure appeared in front of her. It was a girl. Well, not a human girl. An alien girl. She was tiny, maybe 4 feet tall. Her skin was light purple. Her eyes were big and round like a child. She had no hair, but small crystals grew from her head like a crown. She looked scared. She was shaking. She held a blanket in her arms and stared at the empty bed next to Maya. "That is my bed." Her voice was soft, almost a whisper. Maya looked at her. The girl was clearly terrified. Her species was obviously not built for combat. She was too small, too fragile, too gentle for a place like this. Maya nodded. "Okay, sit down." The girl sat quickly. She kept her eyes down. She did not look at Maya. For a long moment there was silence. Then the girl spoke again. "My name is Kira. I am from planet Lyros. We are a peaceful species. We do not fight, but my planet needs protectors. So I volunteered." She paused. "I am scared." Maya studied her. This girl did not belong here. She would be eaten alive by the others. Maya had seen it before. The weak always became targets. On Earth, in space, everywhere. It was the same. But something about Kira reminded Maya of someone. Someone from a long time ago. Someone she had failed to protect. Maya pushed the memory away. She looked at Kira and said, "Stay close to me. I will keep you safe." Kira finally looked up. Her big eyes were wet with tears. "Why would you help me? You do not even know me." Maya did not answer right away. She looked around the barracks. Other recruits were staring at them, whispering, judging. Maya turned back to Kira. "Because someone should. But protecting Kira will cost Maya everything. The danger is coming faster than anyone knows. The next morning alarm screamed through the barracks. All recruits up now. Training begins in 10 minutes. Everyone jumped from their beds. They rushed to put on their training uniforms. Maya was already awake. She had not slept much. Old habits from Earth. Always stay alert. Always be ready. She helped Kira find her uniform. It was too big for her. Maya rolled up the sleeves. There, now you can move. They followed the others to the training hall. It was enormous. The ceiling was so high you could barely see it. The floor was made of black metal. In the center was a massive machine. It looked like a room made of glass. Commander Zrick stood next to it with his arms crossed. Listen carefully. This is the gravity chamber. Inside, the gravity is 5 times normal. You will run through the obstacle course. If you fall, you fail. If you quit, you fail. If you take longer than 10 minutes, you fail. He smiled that cruel smile again. Who wants to go first? Nobody volunteered. Everyone looked at the floor. Then Zrix pointed at Kira. You, little one, you go first. Kira went pale. Her whole body started shaking. She looked at Maya with panic in her eyes. Maya stepped forward. I will go with her. Zrix turned his yellow eyes to Maya. This is a solo test human. She goes alone. Maya did not back down. Then test me first. Show her how it is done. Zrix stared at Maya. The room went completely silent. Every recruit held their breath. Then Zrix laughed. Fine. Show us what a Death Worlder can do. Maya walked to the chamber door. It opened with a hiss. She stepped inside. The door closed behind her. Immediately, she felt the gravity increase. It was like someone put a heavy weight on her shoulders. Her knees bent slightly. But she did not fall. On Earth, gravity was strong. Not this strong, but strong enough. She had trained in worse. The obstacle course activated. Walls rose from the floor. Bars swung from the ceiling. Platforms moved up and down. Maya started running. She jumped. She climbed. She rolled under barriers. Her muscles burned. Her lungs screamed for air. But she did not stop. What Maya does not know is that Commander Zrix has a plan. A plan that will put Kira in terrible danger. Maya finished the course in 7 minutes. When she stepped out of the chamber, she was breathing hard. Sweat covered her face. But she was standing. She had not fallen once. The other recruits stared in shock. Some whispered to each other. Did you see that? She made it look easy. How is that possible? Commander Zrix did not look happy. He looked angry. His jaw was tight. His fists were clenched. He did not like being proven wrong. Now you. He pointed at Kira again. Kira looked like she might cry. She walked slowly to the chamber. Her legs were shaking so badly, she almost fell. Maya whispered to her, just keep moving forward. Do not stop. Do not look down. You can do this. Kira nodded, but her face showed pure terror. The chamber door closed. The gravity activated. Kira immediately fell to her knees. The weight was too much for her small body. She tried to stand. She pushed with all her strength. She managed to get to her feet. She took one step. Then another. The obstacle course started. The first wall rose in front of her. She tried to climb it. Her fingers could barely hold on. She slipped. She fell. She hit the ground hard. The other recruits laughed. Look at her. She cannot even stand up. What a waste of time. Kira tried again. And again. And again. Each time she fell. Each time the laughter grew louder. Maya watched with her fists clenched. She wanted to help. She wanted to stop this. But the rules were clear. No interference during testing. After 8 minutes, the test automatically stopped. Kira had not made it past the first obstacle. She crawled out of the chamber. Tears ran down her face. She could barely breathe. Maya helped her stand. You tried. That is what matters. But Kira just shook her head. I failed. I am not strong enough. That night in the barracks, 3 large recruits approached Kira. Their names were Vorn Takendrex. They were from a warrior species. Big, mean, covered in muscles and scars. Vorn stood over Kira and laughed. You should go home, little one. This place is for real soldiers, not weaklings like you. Maya was watching from across the room. Her eyes went cold. The danger she sensed was about to become real. Maya stood up from her bed. She walked slowly toward Vorn and his friends. Her footsteps were quiet, but every recruit in the barracks noticed. The room went silent. Maya stopped directly in front of Vorn. She was shorter than him, much shorter, but the way she stood made her seem bigger. Leave her alone. Her voice was calm, too calm, like the quiet before a storm. Vorn looked down at Maya and laughed. Or what Death Worlder? You'll fight all three of us. Maya did not blink. If I have to. The other recruits gathered around. They formed a circle. Some pulled out their communication devices. They started recording. This was about to be entertainment. Tack cracked his knuckles. Drek smiled, showing his sharp teeth. Vorn stepped closer to Maya. Their faces were inches apart. You think you are tough because you finished one test. Let me tell you something, human. You are nothing here. Just another weak species pretending to be strong. Maya still did not react. She just stared into his eyes. Then she spoke quietly. Only Vorn could hear. I have broken bones of creatures twice your size. I have survived things that would make you cry like a child. I have killed to protect the people I care about. So ask yourself, do you really want to test me? Vorn's face changed. For just a second there was fear in his eyes. He saw something in Maya. Something dark. Something dangerous. He stepped back. Whatever. She is not worth it. He turned to his friends. Let us go. They walked away. The crowd of recruits slowly dispersed. Everyone went back to their beds. But they all kept glancing at Maya. Kira looked up at her with wide eyes. Thank you. You did not have to do that. Maya sat down on her bed. Yes, I did. Kira was quiet for a moment. Then she asked, Why do you protect me? You barely know me. Maya looked at the ceiling. Her voice became soft, almost sad. I had a sister once. She was small like you, kind like you. I could not protect her. She died because I was not strong enough. I will not let that happen again. Kira did not know what to say. She just nodded. Outside the barracks, Commander Zrix watched everything on security cameras. He smiled his cruel smile. Interesting. Very interesting. Commander Zrix has a plan forming in his mind. A plan that will tear Maya and Kira apart. The next morning, Commander Zrix called Maya to his office. She walked through the long hallways. Other recruits moved out of her way. Word had spread about what happened in the barracks. Everyone now knew. Do not mess with the human. Do not mess with her friend. Maya reached the office door. It slid open automatically. Inside was a large room. The walls were covered with weapons and medals. Behind a metal desk sat Commander Zrix. Sit down, recruit. Maya sat. She kept her back straight. Her hands rested on her knees. She showed no fear. Zrix studied her for a long moment. You showed impressive skills yesterday. Very impressive. Most Death Worlders rely on rage and instinct. But you have control, training, discipline. Where did you learn to fight like that? Maya answered simply. Earth. You learn or you die. Zrix nodded. I want to test your abilities further. There is a special training program. Advanced combat. Solo missions. Very few recruits qualify. I think you'll be perfect. Maya did not react. What about Kira? Zrix leaned back in his chair. What about her? Maya kept her voice steady. I need to make sure she is safe. Zrix waved his hand. She will be fine. She needs to learn to survive on her own. You cannot protect her forever. Besides, this training will only take a few hours each day. You will still see her in the barracks. Maya thought about it. Something felt wrong. But she could not put her finger on what. Finally, she nodded. Okay, I will do it. Zrix smiled. Excellent. You start tomorrow at 1400 hours. Report to Training Room 7. Maya stood up and left. She did not see the way Zrix's eyes followed her. She did not see him pull up files on his computer. Files about her. Files about Kira. Files about how to break a Death Worlder. He pressed a button on his desk. His assistant voice came through the speaker. Yes, Commander. Zrick spoke slowly. Tomorrow at 1400 hours, make sure Recruit Kira is sent to Storage Room 7 for equipment inventory. Alone. And make sure Recruits Vorn, Tak, and Drex are assigned to the same area. There was a pause. Sir, is that wise? Zrick's smile grew wider. Do it. That is an order. The communication ended. Zrix leaned back and looked at Maya file on his screen. Let us see how strong you really are human. The trap is set. Tomorrow everything will change. Blood will be spilled. And Maya will show the galaxy what a Death Worlder truly is. That evening, Maya and Kira sat together in the cafeteria. They ate their meals in silence. Well, Maya ate. Kira mostly pushed her food around on her plate. She seemed nervous, distracted. Maya noticed. What is wrong? Kira looked up. I have a special assignment tomorrow. Equipment inventory in Storage Room 7. I have to catalog all the training gear. It will take most of the afternoon. Maya frowned. Alone. Kira nodded. Yes, they said it is part of learning responsibility. Something about that did not sit right with Maya. Storage Room 7 was in the old section of the facility, far from the main areas, far from help. But Maya pushed the worry away. She was being paranoid. The facility was safe. There were cameras everywhere, guards on every level. Nothing would happen. I have special training tomorrow, too. Advanced combat. But I will find you after. We can have dinner together. Kira smiled. That sounds nice. After dinner, they walked back to the barracks together. Other recruits still whispered when Maya passed. Some with fear, some with respect. Maya ignored them all. When they reached their beds, Kira asked quietly, Do you ever miss Earth? Maya sat down and thought about the question. Every day. Kira tilted her head. Then why did you leave? Why come here? Maya was quiet for a long time. Then she spoke. Because running away does not fix anything. I lost someone I loved. I was not strong enough to save her. So I came here to become stronger, to make sure I never fail again. Kira reached out and gently touched Maya's hand. You're already strong. Stronger than anyone I have ever met. Maya looked at Kira's small hand on hers. No, not strong enough. Not yet. They sat in silence for a while. Then Kira yawned. I should sleep. Tomorrow will be a long day. She climbed into her bed. Within minutes, she was asleep. Maya stayed awake. She always did. She stared at the ceiling. Her mind would not rest. Something felt wrong. Very wrong. Across the facility, in his quarters, Commander Zrix reviewed his plan one final time. Everything was in place. Tomorrow he would test a human. He would see if her loyalty made her weak. He would see if she broke under pressure. And if she did not break, well, then he would simply eliminate her. Tomorrow morning will begin like any other day. But by tomorrow afternoon, nothing will ever be the same. Morning alarms blasted through the barracks. Maya was already dressed, already prepared. She gently shook Kira awake. Time to get up. Kira groaned and opened her eyes. She looked tired. Did you sleep at all? Maya asked. Kira shook her head. I had bad dreams. Dreams about being chased, about being hurt, about you not being there. Maya felt a chill run down her spine. It is just a dream. I will always be there when you need me. I promise. They went to breakfast together. The cafeteria was loud with hundreds of recruits talking and eating. Maya and Kira found a quiet corner. They ate quickly. Neither of them spoke much. Both felt a strange tension in the air. After breakfast, they had morning drills. Physical training. Running. Climbing. Lifting weights. Maya excelled at everything. Kira struggled, but she tried her best. Maya stayed close. Always watching. Always protecting. At noon, the training ended. All recruits were given a break. Maya and Kira walked to the central hub. It was a large open area with windows looking out into space. They stood there for a moment just watching the stars. Kira finally spoke. Thank you, Maya, for everything, for protecting me, for being my friend, for making me feel safe. Maya looked at her. You do not need to thank me. That is what friends do. They heard footsteps behind them. It was an officer. Recruit Kira. It is time for your assignment. Storage room 7. Follow me. Kira looked at Maya with nervous eyes. Maya wanted to say something, wanted to stop this, but she could not. It was a direct order. I will see you at dinner, Maya said, trying to sound confident. Kira nodded and followed the officer. Maya watched her go. That bad feeling in her stomach grew stronger. Another officer approached Maya. Recruit Maya. Your advanced training starts now. Training room 7. Maya turned and followed. As she walked through the corridors, she kept looking back, kept feeling like something terrible was about to happen. She reached training room 7. The door slid open. Inside was an empty room, just obstacle courses and training equipment. The door closed behind her with a heavy sound. A voice came over the speaker. Begin your exercises. You will be monitored. Maya started running the course, but her mind was not on training. Her mind was on Kira, alone, in storage room 7. At that exact moment, in storage room 7, Kira was about to face her worst nightmare, and Maya was too far away to hear her scream. Storage room 7 was cold and dark. The lights flickered every few seconds, making strange shadows on the walls. Kira stood in the center of the room, holding a data pad. Her assignment was simple: count all the equipment, record everything. Easy work, but something felt wrong. The room was too quiet, too isolated. She could not hear anything from the outside corridors. No footsteps, no voices, nothing. She started working. She walked along the metal shelves, counting boxes of training gear, helmets, body armor, weapons. Everything was neatly organized. She typed numbers into her data pad. Her hands were shaking slightly. She did not know why. Maybe it was just the cold. Maybe it was the bad feeling she had all morning. She kept working, kept trying to focus. Just finish quickly. Then you can find Maya. 30 minutes passed. Kira was halfway done with her assignment. Then she heard something, a sound at the door. She turned around. The door slid open. 3 large figures stepped inside. Kira's heart dropped into her stomach. It was Vorn, Tak, and Drex. The same 3 who had bothered her before. The same 3 Maya had warned away. They should not be here. This was her assignment. Hers alone. Why were they here? Vorn smiled when he saw her. His smile was cruel and hungry, like a predator who found weak prey. Well, well, well. Look who we found. All alone. No bodyguard this time. Kira took a step backward. Her back hit a metal shelf. You should not be here. I am working. Leave me alone. Tak laughed. It was a deep, ugly sound. Or what? You will tell the human. She is not here, little one. Nobody is here. Just us. Kira looked at the door. Maybe she could run. Maybe she could get past them. But Drex moved to block the exit. He crossed his arms and stared at her. His eyes were dead and empty. Kira felt panic rising in her chest. Her breathing became fast. Her vision started to blur. She was terrified. Please, I have not done anything to you. Just let me finish my work. Please. Vorn stepped closer. You exist. That is what you did wrong. Weak species like you do not belong here. You make the rest of us look bad. Someone needs to teach you a lesson. He reached out and grabbed Kira's datapad. He threw it across the room. It smashed against the wall. Pieces scattered everywhere. Kira has nowhere to run. Nobody can hear her. And the 3 soldiers are moving closer. Kira tried to scream, but Vorn's hand covered her mouth. Shut up. Nobody will hear you anyway. This room is soundproof. We checked. Kira's eyes went wide with terror. She struggled, but Vorn was too strong. He lifted her off the ground with one hand, like she weighed nothing. He threw her. She flew through the air and crashed into a stack of metal boxes. Pain exploded through her body. She fell to the floor, gasping for air. Get up. Tak's voice was mocking. Come on. Fight back. Show us you belong here. Kira tried to stand. Her legs were shaking. Her whole body hurt. She managed to get to her knees. Then Drex kicked her in the side. Not hard enough to kill her, just hard enough to hurt. Kira fell again. She curled into a ball trying to protect herself. Tears streamed down her face. Stop. Please stop. But they did not stop. Vorn grabbed her by the arm and pulled her up. He slammed her against the wall. Her head hit the metal with a loud crack. Blood started dripping from a cut on her forehead. She could barely see. Everything was spinning. Where's your friend now? Where's the big, tough human? She cannot save you. Vorn's face was inches from Kira. His breath smelled like decay. You are nothing. You will always be nothing. He let her go. Kira slid down the wall and collapsed on the floor. She could taste blood in her mouth. One of her ribs felt broken. Every breath was agony. Tak laughed again. Maybe we should break her legs too. Make sure she never walks again. Then she will have to quit. Then she will go home where she belongs. Drex nodded. Good idea. He moved toward Kira, raising his boot. Kira tried to crawl away, but she had no strength left. She was broken, defeated. All she could do was cry and wait for the pain. Then she remembered something Maya had told her. If you are ever in real danger, scream my name. I will find you. I promise. Kira did not know if it would work, but she had to try. She opened her mouth and screamed with everything she had left. Maya, help me. Maya. The three soldiers stopped. They looked at each other. Then they started laughing. Scream all you want. She cannot hear you. But they were wrong. Someone did hear. Someone was already watching on the security cameras. Maya was in training room 7 running through combat drills. She was fast, precise, perfect, but her mind was not focused. Something was wrong. Very wrong. She could feel it in her bones. It was the same feeling she had on Earth right before danger arrived. A sixth sense. A warning system built from years of surviving. She stopped running. She stood still in the middle of the room, breathing hard, listening. The voice over the speaker came again. Recruit Maya. Continue your exercises. Maya ignored it. She closed her eyes and focused. Where was Kira right now? Storage room 7. How far away was that? 3 corridors. 4 turns. Maybe 5 minutes if she ran. Why did she feel like Kira was in danger? The feeling grew stronger. It became an overwhelming need to move, to run, to protect. Then her wrist communicator beeped. It was a private message. She looked at the screen. The message was from an unknown source. Just 3 words. Check camera feed. Maya frowned. Who sent this? It did not matter. She pulled up the security camera access on her communicator. Normally recruits could not access cameras, but someone had given her temporary access. She scrolled through camera feeds, storage areas, hallways, training rooms. Then she found storage room 7. What she saw made her blood turn to ice. Kira was on the floor, bleeding. 3 large figures stood over her. One was raising his boot to stomp on her. Maya did not think, did not hesitate. She ran to the door of training room 7. It was locked. Continue your exercises, recruit. The voice said again. Maya did not care. She slammed her fist into the control panel. Sparks flew. The door unlocked. Alarms started blaring. Unauthorized exit. Security breach. Recruit Maya, stand down. Maya ran into the corridor. She moved faster than she had ever moved before. Other recruits saw her and jumped out of the way. An officer tried to stop her. Recruit, you are not authorized to leave training. Maya did not slow down. She lowered her shoulder and knocked him aside. He crashed into the wall. More alarms. More voices over the speakers. All units. Restrain recruit Maya. She is in violation of protocol. Maya did not care about protocol. Did not care about rules. Did not care about consequences. Kira was in danger. That was all that mattered. She turned a corner running at full speed. 2 security guards stood in her way. Stop now. Final warning. Maya did not stop. She went through them like they were made of paper. The first guard tried to grab my arm. She twisted away and used his momentum to flip him over her shoulder. He hit the ground hard. The second guard pulled out a shock stick. He swung it at her head. Maya ducked under it. She drove her elbow into his chest. He flew backward and crashed into a wall. Both guards were down in 5 seconds. Maya kept running. More guards appeared ahead. 4 of them this time. They formed a line blocking the corridor. All of them had shock sticks drawn. Stand down, recruit. You are making this worse. Maya did not slow down. She ran straight at them. At the last second, she dropped and slid on the smooth floor. She went under their weapons. She swept her leg out and knocked 2 of them down. She rolled her feet behind them and kept running. Security doors started closing. Heavy metal barriers designed to stop intruders. Maya saw one ahead dropping from the ceiling. She pushed herself harder, faster. Her legs burned. Her lungs screamed. She dove forward and slid under the door just as it slammed shut. Metal scraped against her back, but she made it through. She jumped to her feet and kept running. Behind her, she could hear guards shouting. In front of her, she could see the corridor to storage room 7. Her communicator beeped again. She glanced at the screen while running. It was a video message. Someone had sent her live camera feed from storage room 7. She watched as Drex raised his boot over Kira's head. She watched as Kira tried to curl up tighter. She watched as Vorn and Tak laughed. Maya felt something break inside her chest. Not sadness, not fear. Something else. Something dark and dangerous. Something that had been sleeping since she left Earth. She put the communicator away. She turned the final corner. Storage room 7 was 30 meters ahead. The door was closed. Locked. Maya did not slow down. She lowered her shoulder. She hit the door at full speed. The metal door bent inward. Not enough. She backed up, hit it again. Harder. The door bent more. Sparks flew from the lock mechanism. One more time. Maya ran at the door with everything she had. This time it worked. The door flew off its hinges and crashed inside the room. Maya stood in the doorway, her chest heaving, her eyes scanning the room. She saw Kira on the floor, bleeding, broken. Then she saw them. Vorn, Tak, Drex. They turned to face her, and they saw something in her eyes that made them afraid. For a moment, nobody moved. The room was completely silent except for Kira quiet crying. Maya stepped into the room. Her boots made heavy sounds on the metal floor. Her face showed no emotion, but her hands were clenched into fists so tight her knuckles were white. She walked slowly toward Kira. Vorn stepped between them. Well, look who finally showed up. Your little pet was getting lonely. Maya did not respond. She did not even look at him. She walked past him like he did not exist. She knelt down next to Kira. Kira's face was covered in blood. Her left eye was swelling shut. Her breathing was shallow and painful. Broken ribs. Maybe punctured lung. Head trauma. Maya had seen injuries like this before. On Earth. In the war zones. In the places where humans fought to survive. She gently touched Kira's face. I am here. You are safe now. Kira opened her good eye. She saw Maya and started crying harder. I am sorry. I tried to be strong. I tried, but I could not. I am too weak. Maya shook her head. No, you are not weak. They are. She carefully picked Kira up. Kira was so light, so fragile, like holding a broken bird. Maya stood up and turned to face the 3 soldiers. Now she looked at them, really looked at them. Her eyes were cold, empty, dead. Vorn laughed nervously. What are you going to do, human? Fight all 3 of us. You cannot win. Maya finally spoke. Her voice was quiet, calm, terrifying. I do not need to win. I just need to make sure you never hurt anyone again. Tak stepped forward trying to look brave. You are just one person. We are 3 trained soldiers. You have no weapons, no armor. You cannot beat us. Maya gently set Kira down against the wall. She made sure Kira was comfortable. Then she stood up and faced the 3 soldiers. She rolled her shoulders, cracked her neck. Her whole body language changed. She was not a recruit anymore. She was not a student. She was a predator, a hunter, something ancient and deadly from a world where only the strong survived. I do not need weapons. She took 1 step forward. On Earth we have a saying, you touch my family, you lose your hands. Drex charged first. He was fast, Strong. Well-trained. It did not matter. Maya was faster. What happened in the next 60 seconds would be recorded on camera, and it would change everything. Drex threw a punch at Maya's head. She moved her head just slightly. The punch missed by inches. Maya grabbed his arm. She twisted it behind his back. There was a loud crack. Drex's arm broke at the elbow. He screamed and felt his knees. Maya was not done. She brought her knee up into his face. His nose shattered. Blood sprayed everywhere. He fell backward unconscious. 5 seconds. That was all it took. Tack and Vorn looked at their friend on the ground. Then they looked at Maya. She was not even breathing hard. Come on, both of you. Together. Her voice was still calm. Still quiet. That made it worse. Tack pulled out a combat knife. He was not supposed to have it. Weapons were forbidden in training areas. But rules did not matter anymore. He lunged at Maya. The blade aimed at her stomach. Maya sidestepped. She caught his wrist. She twisted hard. The knife fell from his hand. She caught it in midair. Then she drove the blade through his boot, pinning his foot to the floor. Tack screamed. He tried to pull the knife out, but Maya kicked his other knee. It bent sideways with a horrible sound. He collapsed, unable to stand. 2 down. 1 to go. Vorn was the biggest, the strongest, the leader. He had seen what Maya did to his friends. He knew he should run, but his pride would not let him. He was a warrior. He could not be beaten by a human, by a female, by someone smaller than him. He roared and charged. He was like a bull, all muscle and rage. Maya waited, calm, patient. At the last second she dropped low. She swept his legs. He was moving too fast to stop. He flew over her and crashed into a metal shelf. The whole thing collapsed on top of him. Maya stood up. She walked over to where Vorn was trying to get out from under the shelf. She grabbed the shelf and lifted it. Her muscles strained, but she did it. She threw it aside. Vorn tried to crawl away. Maya grabbed him by the back of his uniform. She lifted him up and slammed him face first into the wall. Once, twice, 3 times. On the 3rd hit, he stopped moving. She let him drop to the floor. All 3 soldiers were down, broken, bleeding, defeated. Maya turned back to Kira. But before she could move, the door opened again. Commander Zrix stood there with 6 armed guards, and he was smiling. Commander Zrix walked slowly into the room. His boots clicked on the metal floor. His eyes scanned the destruction. 3 soldiers unconscious. Blood on the walls. A broken shelf. A bent door. And in the center of it all stood Maya. Not a scratch on her. Zrix stopped a few meters away. His guards spread out behind him. All of them had weapons drawn. Energy rifles pointed at Maya. Impressive. Very impressive. I knew you were skilled, but this exceeds expectations. Maya did not move. She stood between Zrix and Kira. Protecting. Always protecting. You set this up. You sent Kira here alone. You sent them here to hurt her. You wanted to see what I would do. Zrix smiled wider. Of course I did. I needed to test you. Needed to see if the stories about Deathworlders were true. Needed to see if you would break protocol to save one weak alien. And you did. You broke every rule. Assaulted officers. Destroyed property. Caused chaos. Do you know what the penalty for this is? Maya stared at him. Her voice was ice cold. I do not care. Zrix laughed. That is your problem, human. You care too much. About the wrong things. About weak species that will never survive. About friendship and loyalty. These things make you vulnerable. Make you weak. A true soldier follows orders. A true soldier does not let emotions control them. Maya took 1 step toward him. The guards tensed. Their fingers moved the triggers. You are wrong. Caring is not weakness. It is strength. It is what separates soldiers from monsters. Zrix's face hardened. You dare lecture me. I have been a commander for 30 years. I have led armies. Won wars. Earned every medal on my chest. What have you done? You are just a recruit. Just a child from a primitive planet. Maya did not back down. I have survived. That is more than you will be able to say. Zrick's eyes narrowed. Is that a threat? Maya smiled. It had no warmth, no humor, just cold promise. It is a fact. Zrix pulled out his shock baton. It crackled with electricity. Enough talking. Stand down, recruit. That is an order. Come with us peacefully, and your punishment will be lighter. Resist, and we will use force. Maya looked at the 6 guards, at their weapons, at Zrix with his baton. Then she looked back at Kira. Kira was barely conscious, barely alive. She needed medical help. Now, Maya had to make a choice. Surrender and hope Kira got help, or fight and risk everything. Maya made her decision. She would not surrender. Not while Kira needed her. Not while these people thought they could hurt the innocent without consequences. She looked at Commander Zrix. I am taking Kira to medical. You can try to stop me, but I promise you will regret it. Zrix's face turned dark with rage. You insolent. Arrest her. Now, the guards moved forward slowly. They did not want to fight her. They had seen what she did to 3 trained soldiers. But orders were orders. The first guard reached for Maya's shoulder. She grabbed his hand and twisted. He spun around. She took his rifle and tossed it away. She pushed him into the second guard. Both fell down. The third guard fired his rifle. A bright blue energy blast shot toward Maya. She dove to the side. The blast hit the wall behind her. Metal melted. The room filled with the smell of burning. The other guard started firing too. Maya moved like liquid, rolling, dodging, never staying still. She reached the 4th guard before he could fire. She grabbed his rifle and pulled him forward. He stumbled. She drove her elbow into his helmet. The helmet cracked. He fell. The 5th guard tried to hit her with his rifle like a club. Maya ducked under it. She swept his legs. He crashed down hard. That left 1 guard in Commander Zrix. The last guard was shaking. He pointed his rifle at Maya, but his hands were trembling. Please, just surrender. I do not want to hurt you. Maya looked at him. Her voice was almost kind. Then do not put the weapon down. Walk away. Forget you saw me. The guard looked at Commander Zrix, then back at Maya. He made his choice. He lowered his rifle. He stepped aside. Zrix screamed at him. Coward. Traitor. I will have you court-martialed. The guard did not respond. He just left the room. Now it was just Maya and Zrix. Zrix raised a shock baton. You have made a terrible mistake, human. I will break you. I will destroy you. I will make sure you never serve in any military ever again. Maya picked up Kira gently. She cradled her like a child. Then she walked toward the door. Zrix moved to block her path. He swung the baton at her head. Fast, powerful, deadly. But Maya was ready, and what she did next would echo across the entire galaxy. Maya shifted Kira to one arm. With her free hand, she caught the baton mid-swing. Electricity coursed through her body. 50,000 volts. Enough to drop a charging beast. Enough to stop a heart. Maya's muscles seized. Her jaw clenched. Pain like fire spread through her nerves. But she held on. She did not let go. Zrix's eyes went wide with shock. Impossible. No one could withstand that voltage. Maya gritted her teeth. On Earth, electric eels. Generate 800 volts. We swim with them. For fun. She twisted the baton. Zrix's wrist made a cracking sound. He screamed and released the weapon. Maya threw it across the room. It clattered against the wall, still sparking. Zrix stumbled backward, holding his injured wrist. You will pay for this. I will see you executed. I will. He did not finish. Maya moved faster than he could react. She shifted Kira to her other arm. Then she grabbed Zrix by his uniform collar. She lifted him slightly off the ground. For someone so big, he looked small in her grip. Listen carefully. You set up an innocent person to be hurt. You watched while she was beaten. You smiled while she bled. You are not a commander. You are a coward, a bully, a monster. And monsters do not deserve mercy. Zrix tried to pull away, but Maya's grip was iron. You cannot do this. I have rights. I have rank. Maya slammed him against the wall. Once. Twice. On the third impact, his head cracked against metal. His eyes rolled back. He went limp. Maya dropped him. He fell to the floor unconscious. She stood over him for a moment, making sure he was truly down. Then she turned to the door. More guards were arriving. She could hear their footsteps, their shouts, their weapons charging. But Maya did not care anymore. She had Kira. That was all that mattered. She walked out of storage room 7 into the corridor. 20 guards stood there, all with weapons pointed at her. A voice over speaker system echoed through the facility. All personnel. Recruit Maya is considered armed and dangerous. Do not let her reach Medical Bay. Use any force necessary to stop her. Maya looked at the 20 guards. Then she looked down at Kira in her arms. Kira was barely breathing. Her face was pale. She was dying. Maya looked back up at the guards. Her voice was quiet, but everyone heard it. For a long moment, nobody moved. The guards stared at Maya. Maya stared back. She was covered in other people's blood. Her uniform was torn. Her face was cold and determined. She looked like a soldier from ancient Earth stories. A warrior who could not be stopped. Would not be stopped. The guard captain stepped forward. He was older than the others. Scars covered his face. He had seen real combat, real war. He looked at Maya, then at Kira, then back at Maya. Lower your weapons. His voice was firm. The other guards looked at him in confusion. Sir, the orders were. I said, lower your weapons. That is an order. Slowly the guards lowered their rifles. The captain stepped aside. He gestured to the corridor behind him. Medical Bay is 3 corridors down. Turn left at the intersection. You have 5 minutes before command overrides my authority. Maya nodded once. Thank you. She walked past the guards. None of them tried to stop her. She moved quickly through the corridors. Other recruits saw her and pressed themselves against the walls. Some pulled out their communicators and started recording. Maya did not care. Let them record. Let the whole galaxy see. She reached the intersection and turned left. The Medical Bay doors were ahead. Automatic. They slid open as she approached. Inside, 3 medical staff were waiting. They had been alerted. 1 doctor. 2 nurses. All of them alien species. The doctor rushed forward. Put her on the table. Quickly. Maya gently placed Kira on the medical table. The doctor immediately started scanning her with medical devices. Broken ribs. Punctured lung. Skull fracture. Internal bleeding. She needs surgery immediately. The nurses moved fast. They attached monitoring equipment. Started 4 lines. Injected medications. Maya stepped back to give them room. But she did not leave. She stayed by the door, watching, making sure Kira was safe. The doctor looked at her. You need to leave. We have work to do. Maya shook her head. I stay until she wakes up. The doctor started to argue, but stopped. He saw something in Maya's eyes. Something that told him arguing was pointless. Fine, but stay out of the way. Heavy footsteps echoed from outside. Many footsteps. Guards. Officers. Command staff. They were coming. The door opened. Dozens of armed soldiers poured in. They surrounded Maya. She did not resist. Did not fight. She had done what she needed to do. Kira was safe. That was all that mattered. A tall figure pushed through the crowd. It was the base commander, the highest-ranking officer on the station, and he looked furious.